Hey, I hope you can get a decent view of this engraving. It's a nice one. It's just called Interior of the Public Library at Constantinople. It's nice. I don't know if you can really see the whole thing there with the shadows, but just a few people wandering there in the library. Yeah, this book is called American Miscellany, and it is from 1865. And of course, it does have lovely engravings. It's hard to see sometimes. It can be a little small and tetchy, but it's really added a lot to this lovely book. So this book is just a collection of essays. And it looks like today we're about to learn a little bit about the libraries at Constantinople. So we just finished our previous essay, which was essay number 120 on the, let's see, what did they call it? Natural theology. It was basically a sermon, natural theology. But so we've moved on. We're now on page 292 of American Miscellany. And we're reading essay number 121, Libraries at Constantinople. It is a ridiculous notion which prevails among us, said Sir William Jones many years ago, that ignorance is a principle of the Mohammedan religion, and that the Koran instructs the Turks not to be instructed. There is little question that even now we are too much accustomed to regard the followers of that faith as necessarily rude and ignorant beings, men who will neither cultivate learning themselves nor allow others to do so. There is still less question that the articles of their creed afford us no ground for such an impression. Mohammed not only permitted but advised his people to apply themselves to the acquisition of knowledge. Seek learning, he tells them in one of his precepts, though it were in China. The high estimation, indeed, in which he held it is abundantly shown in his extravagant declaration that the ink of the learned and the blood of the martyrs are of equal value in the sight of heaven. Nevertheless, it must be confessed that at the present day there is no Mohammedan people remarkable for proficiency in literature or science. The existing race of Turks, who afford us the readiest specimen of a Muslim nation, are a set of barbarians, as proud as they are ignorant. The early sultans, as well as their predecessors, the Saracen caliphs, were the zealous patrons of knowledge. Be the support of the faith and the protector of the sciences, was the dying injunction of the first Osman to his successor Orkan in the beginning of the 14th century. The later sovereigns of the Turkish Empire have been less zealous in the cause of learning. It is possible that as the fanaticism of their subjects had abated, the monarchs have become unwilling to remove their ignorance, lest the consequences should be detrimental to both the spiritual and the temporal despotism which afflicts their country. One of the modes in which the early sovereigns of Turkey have testified to posterity their regard for letters is the establishment of kitab khanes, or public libraries, in the great cities of their empire, either in connection with the mosques and colleges or apart as distinct institutions. Constantinople possesses 35, none of them containing less than 1,000 manuscripts, and some more than 5,000. Our readers may acquire a good idea of the internal appearance of one of these libraries from our engraving. Each volume is bound in colored leather, red, green, or black. and is enclosed in a case of similar material, which protects it from the dust and from the worms. The title of the book, instead of being written, as with us, upon the back of the book, is marked first upon the edges of the leaves, and then again on the edge of the outer covering. Cases with glass or wirework fronts are ranged along the walls of the library or in its four corners, and in those the volumes are deposited, resting on their sides, one above another. These libraries are open on every day of the week except Tuesday and Friday. The libraries are open on every day of the week, except Tuesday and Friday. Visitors are allowed to read any books, to make extracts from them, and even to transcribe a whole manuscript. The subjects of the greater part of the works are, of course, analogous to the usual studies which are followed in the colleges, or medreses. As long as law and theology alone occupy the attention of the students, the mass of books consists of copies of the Koran and commentaries upon it, with collections of the oral laws of Mohammed and works on jurisprudence. The manuscripts are all written on the finest vellum, and some of them afford beautiful specimens of penmanship. Each library has a catalogue. Most of these different collections are continually being augmented by the produce of the surplus funds arising from their original endowments, and also by the liberal contributions of private individuals. The scribe who writes a fine hand generally regards it as a duty to make a transcript of the Koran at some period of his life, and bestow the copy upon one of the Kitab Khanes. Notwithstanding the necessary dearness of books where printing is not practiced, every citizen takes care to acquire a certain number in the course of his life, and the lawyer, the statesman, or the man of letters who possesses a fine library bequeaths it to some public library, that he may receive the benedictions of those who avail themselves of his liberality.